All right. Hello, everybody. Hope you guys been having a great week like we have. Today, it's a very good day for us. Some of us, the ones that we enjoy the cold. And now I'm here like every week with my good friend, Andy Gagano from Gagani Mortgage. Andy, how good are you doing today?
I am very well today. How are you?
I can't complain. Like I say, I enjoy the cold from time to time. I really rather have this weather than the hot weather. But what about you? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm the person who, for the last two freezing days that we've had here recently, starting Sunday and yesterday, walking around outside in short sleeves. So,
Yeah.
I love it as long as the wind's not blowing, and as long I do need to quit acting like such a tough guy. If I'm outside for any length of time, I do need a jacket. But just going from the office or my house to my vehicle, from the vehicle to the store or something like that, I don't fool with jackets or any of that, just because as soon as you go inside somewhere, they've got the heat turned on. And if I have a jacket on, then I'm sweating. Well, then if I go outside, I'm even colder because I've been sweating. And so I just decided 40 years ago, if not longer than that, that I was through with jackets unless I'm outside for an extended period of time.
For extended period of time. Yeah, I understand that. I'm the same way. I feel the same way. The only thing is like with age, sometimes even if it's just a couple of seconds that you go outside without a jacket, you might get sick. You might get some cold over there. At least in my case.
I will say that I've noticed as I've gotten older that the cold tends to affect me a little more than it did when I was in my 20s, 30s, even 40s. So, yeah.
Yeah, I feel that way. And you know how we guys are when we get a little bit of the cold.
Yeah, we're big wimps.
Big time. Andy, on the last 7 days here in Birmingham, Alabama, we've been having some different numbers. We do have 47 new listings, new houses for sale. So that's increasing a little bit the inventory compared with last year.
Mm-hmm.
We also noticed that it's 44 price improvements, meaning the price has changed, decrease, if you want to put it that way. We're going to be honest about it. Some properties, what I believe is been happening lately, because the way the market been behaving is that a lot of sellers, they overprice their properties.
Yeah.
And I do understand that, but as a good realtor, we do what our clients tell us to do. Our job is to advise them if it's the right move or not. But at the end of the day, the decision is from the seller, from the customer. They decide if they want to listen to us or not. And many times we take a chance, we take a risk. One of those cases, I have a listing that I knew that we're going to be on the 90s on the price, but we make the decision, because we want to get into negotiation and everything and to attract people, to lower from what we believe the fair market value is. We lowered the price for $5,000. And sure enough, that helped us a lot. We got a lot of movement. We got a lot of people interested. A savvy realtor, a good realtor, will know that that property is undervalued. And they're going to bring their clients to see it and everything. So we can generate, we still, at this point in the market, we still can have a little bit of a bidding war. That strategy worked for us. We have 3 offers above asking price to what we believe the value is, the market value is. Now, that sounds all good. That sounds all fantastic, right? We're getting above asking price and everything. But what we need to pay attention to is to the terms. What kind of loan we're getting? Like if it's an FHA loan, this particular house will not pass FHA inspection. So I don't care if they offer me $150,000. It's not going to pass. And the owner never leaving the property. He's one of my outside investors living in another state. They never leave in the property, and they really don't want to invest in doing repairs.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things we need to look what kind of loan we're getting. This house is perfect for a conventional or a cash loan. Also, the terms. Are they asking for closing costs for concessions? Now we call it concessions. That's the right word that we need to use. And I seen that a lot. Talking to people in my office, a lot of agents are receiving offers asking for concessions, either for repairs, either for closing costs, and you name it, whatever type of concessions they asking for it up front now.
Yeah.
Something that we haven't seen since the COVID days in many cases, right? There is always an exception to a rule. Also, we have on the last 7 days, 11 properties have gone pending. So that are on the contract. So we're gonna keep an eye on those to see what the market is gonna tell us. You know, that's how you figure it out how the market is with real numbers
Yeah.
and good strategies and everything. So that's a good thing that we're seeing. But the thing that caught my attention is that the concessions buyers start asking concessions. A lot of people think, oh, we're gonna switch to a buyer's market. I don't think we're still there. We're not definitely on a seller's market anymore, like we were a couple of years ago, and we don't have that trend. I think the market is more balanced now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so now with that said, and with the interest rates being the way they are, that they haven't gone down like everybody was saying and predicting. How do you see the loan applications for mortgages?
I don't understand what you're saying. You said rates haven't gone down like everyone's predicted. I mean, aren't all these experts don't they set interest rates, and don't rates do whatever they say that they're going to do?
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
understand, Tony. What are you talking about?
And especially, today is the 21st of January. Everybody said that after the 20th, for whatever reason, magically interest rates were going to drop to the 5%.
Yes, indeed. And so last week was the first week that interest rates dropped on a week over week basis in 4 weeks, if I'm not mistaken.
Only
I
four
know
weeks.
I know it's at least 3, but
Yeah.
I believe it's 4. So we're the here's the best thing I know to say about rates. We've talked about this before. Interest rates are not decided, they're not set by, they're not determined by the Federal Reserve or the federal government in any way, shape, form, or fashion. They
Correct.
are determined by the bond market. Specifically, they're determined by mortgage-backed securities, or as we call it in the business, MBS. And so the MBS market has the best way I know to describe it for most people is it will go up, it will go down. Very, very, very rarely will it ever stay the same on a day over day basis. With that being said, here's the best way I know to explain all that. If that MBS market goes up, somebody's making money. If the MBS market goes down, somebody's making money. If the MBS market stays the same, no one's making
Nobody's
money.
making money.
So what's going to happen with the MBS market, which determines our mortgage rates? It's going to go up. It's going to go down. Those mortgage rates are going to go up. They're going to go down. Yes, what we typically see is that those rates will stay within a certain range, and they'll bounce up and down within that range. And so what's happened over, I believe, and I could be totally wrong, and time will tell, but what I believe is that we've established what that upper range level is. And those mortgage rates hit that upper level, and now they're down just a little bit. And I believe we're going to fluctuate within that range. We will not break out of the floor in rates anytime very soon without some very negative economic news. And until we get that very negative economic news that shows that the economy is not as strong as what we've been told it has been over the past 12 to 24 months, then maybe we'll start to see the mortgage rates come down some. And Tony, you and I have talked about this numerous times recently, even about how I kind of feel like the economy is not as strong as what we've been told by the government that it is. And with a new administration coming in, that perhaps we would get some more honest or realistic economic news that would show us the real state of the economy. And I still feel that way. I still think that that will happen, but that's going to be over a period of months that will happen, and that we'll get some truth in reporting, so to speak, that will actually show us the true state of the economy, and then we can see some correction to these interest rates. So
I share the same thinking with you. I definitely agree with you on that 100%. You know, we until we see the real numbers, and we hoping this administration will show us the real numbers, and I believe they will. Uh, we will have a better idea what's going to happen with the economy, and also what's going to happen with the mortgage interest rates.
right. Yeah. And when that happens, again, I feel like mortgage rates will come down. In the meantime, we're still hovering in the low sevens, upper sixes if somebody wants to pay a discount point to get a lower rate, and upper sixes if we're talking about an FHA or a VA or a USDA loan. They're in the mid to upper sixes. These are, and at times I feel like I'm beating my head against my desk. These are still very normal interest rates.
Yeah.
We're dealing with a situation that we haven't seen in quite a long time, or really that we've never seen, and that is real estate prices being higher now than they've ever been. And because of that, it makes payments seem much higher when we have interest rates that are in the sixes and sevens. But you guys just heard it from Tony. He's got a listing for a property that's in the 90s. These homes are out there. These affordable homes are still out there. They can be purchased. Yes, there may be some work that needs to be done to some of them, but that's an opportunity for a buyer to be able to get out there and build some equity in a property if they have some skills to be able to do some things like painting, fixing things here and there, small little projects, that kind of thing. So,
And give them also the opportunity to ask for some concessions.
absolutely. Yeah. And that's one thing I was going to say, and that's why right now it's extremely important for anyone watching this video. If they want to be a homeowner in 2025, reach out to Tony and have these conversations with Tony about realistically what you want your payment to be on a home, realistically what you can spend and be comfortable on a home with interest rates at these levels, and realistically what is out there in that price range. And then start working with him to try to determine the areas of town that you want to be in where homes are still priced in that range. And just what he said, now's a great time to be getting sellers to agree to help you as a buyer purchase their home, whether that's closing cost, or I mentioned just a minute ago, paying a little bit of money to buy the interest rate lower.
Mm-hmm.
That's something you could ask a seller to do for you. to help make that home more affordable. So there's all sorts of things that can be done right now in this market to become a homeowner and be able to work out an agreement with a seller to help the buyer make a better purchase.
And not only to become a homeowner, if you are being entertaining the idea of becoming a real estate investor, we also, it's a good time, this particular house, because of the price. And to be honest with you, we did an evaluation before. The house need probably no more than $7,000 in repairs, no more than that. Painting, you want to put new carpet if you want carpet or flooring, whatever you want, and a few little details. Construction is very expensive right now, at least here in Alabama.
Yes.
But also that house, when it's fixed and done, if you rent it, you bring in no less than $1,200. So you are breaking what many investors call the 1% rule. You buy a property, a certain price, the rent has to be 1% of that price. Now, don't be so hard-headed about that rule, because there's some places like you want to buy a property, let's say in $250,000, and you're gonna try to rent it for 2,800 a month. Some cases work, some others don't. It's a lot of a numbers game that we need to look into it. But still, if you want to get into the investment game, you've been trying to do that. You've been considering that. There is also programs that can help you that will not hurt your pocket if you're a buyer, an investor buyer. We talked before, and we're probably going to touch the subject again about the SCR loans. We have line of credits that some people are using. I know a good friend of mine in North Carolina. She got a line of credit, and she used that plus the sale of another property to buy a bigger investment that is going to bring in good returns. But that only happened also because she associated with and talked with experts in the field.
Yeah.
And that's the other part. You need to talk to somebody that is not trying to sell you and make you get into the house right now. We got Andy. You sit with Andy Gagano. He's going to be sitting with you and tell you, guess what? Yes, you can move into the house right now. Or guess what? If we do this, you're going to get better terms. And at the end of the day, it's about that better terms. That it's not going to hurt your pocket. If you can make that mortgage payment and make your other payments, your other obligations, credit card, car payments, and all that, and if you're going to be okay covering all those payments, then it's a good time for you to get into a home. If you're going to be hurt, then you either buy low and wait a couple of years that you put all your finances in order, and you can upgrade to another house.
That's right. Yeah, I think that gets lost on a lot of people. For years when I first got into business, there was a thing called a starter home. Starter home is what people purchase to start their lives as a homeowner. It was not their forever home. And I think so many people now go out and look at homes with that mentality of, I'm looking for my forever home because I don't want to move.
Yeah, that is I remember those days and everything, and we also, the statistics say that the majority of the people move between, back then it was 7 years, now it's shorter to 5 years.
Yeah.
So it's a high percentage of people that only live in the house for 5 to 7 years, so again, that's the starter home. I think we should start bringing that concept again. This is the starter home. This is the first step into home ownership. Eventually you can upgrade, and then when the family moves out, the kids go to college or whatever, you can downsize.
Yeah. I mean, it's what I did. I bought my first home to live in, and I lived in it for a little over 12 months. Circumstances presented themselves where I had a real estate agent that I did some work with, whose daughter was looking at a home, and she said, didn't you just buy a home and fix it up? And I said, yeah. She said, well, what are you doing with it? I said, well, that's my home. I live in it. Well, would you be interested in selling it? Well, I'm in mortgages and I love real estate. everything's for sale. So she came by, brought her daughter, looked at the house, and they brought me a full price offer. So there you go. I'm out of that house and looking for my next home to move into. And so, it's just a great opportunity. And as just a side note, I wish that I still had that house.
Don't we all? I
Yeah.
think the same about one of the houses that I bought when I was in California, and I see the prices over there, in the past years, and I'm like, what I was thinking when I let the house go.
Yeah, no doubt.
I wish
No doubt.
then really to have that crystal ball to see the future.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, Andy, this has been good. I hope we provide some good value to you all over there. And if you see that you're getting value out of these videos, just subscribe to our channel, and you have any questions or anything, just shoot them over there on the comment box, and we're going to get back to you as soon as we can. That's a promise. I guarantee you, either Andy or I, we're going to find out the answer for your question. So, Andy, people looking to get into their starter home, how can they contact you?
Absolutely. I can be reached at 205-979-4412 extension 1. How about you, Tony?
Well, after you talk to Andy and you bring me that pre-approval letter, then we're going to start looking for your starter home. And you can contact me at 205-370-3248. Andy, again, thank you very much for being with us another week. And I hope everything goes well this week. And let's go do some business, man.
Sounds good to me. Let's do it.
All
Thanks,
right,
guys.
Andy.
Have a great week.
Take care.
All right.